In this series, I'm starting over as a broke level 1 player with the goal of becoming a GTA Online veteran. But in order to do so, I'll have to complete every objective on this list while having a limit of 2 hours a day to play. So with that being said, welcome to another episode of Rags to Riches 2-hour edition. So we are back in sunny Los Santos for episode 3 of the Rags to Riches series. We're currently sitting at $1.2 million and we are working towards getting $2.2 million to buy the best business in the game, the Kosatka Submarine. Now, we ended off last episode doing the second last dose mission, so today we're going to complete the rest of those, make a few $100,000 for all of them combined, and then start up a new treasure hunt as well, while also mixing in some DAX missions to get up our money as fast as possible. So with that being said, as always, every episode we only have 2 hours to complete everything for the day. So here we go, we got 2 hours on the clock. The first thing we're going to do is a Fooligan mission. I'll call up Dax and get our 50k. And there is our money. Unfortunately, it's not 50k, it's 25k because I did mess it up, but it is what it is. Let's head over to Simeon's auto dealership, get some snacks, and then start up the last dose missions. Here we go, last dose 3. So we've reached Friedman's HQ, and we now have to take out all of the guards that are in here. We could do this stealthily, but I don't even bother. I just take out everyone. Okay, we should only have one more security guard in that office. Boom, perfect. So we took them out all out relatively easily. Now we have to find a clipboard, I believe, with a picture of Lab Rat on it. It's going to be in one of these offices here. Usually it's easy to find. We do need these keys actually. So we'll grab the keys to get into the basement, and then the clue of Lab Rat's location will likely be on the other side. Here it is right there, clipboard with a picture of Lab Rat. Now we're good to go. All we have to do is head downstairs. We're gonna have to take out some guards on the way, I believe, but it should be relatively easy. Okay, we're now in the basement and there are tons of enemies here protecting Lab Rat, who's at the end of the room. We just gotta take them all out pretty quickly. And the final one is right over here, just behind these crates, and boom. And now we're gonna be introduced to Dr. Freelander, and we will be able to take Lab Rat and take off. And here we are back at the freak shop. We should make about $20,000, and then we're gonna get our $100,000 first time bonus as well. There you go, there's the $100,000, and now we're gonna start up last dose 4. This one's actually the easiest of the 5 because it is once again an acid trip. It's not as simple as the other one, but it is essentially a timed mission, so I think it's gonna be about 15 minutes and then we're done. And that is the end of the acid trip. Let's see how much money we get. $18,000 and then the 100k, so not so bad. There's our bonus. Let's now head over to the freak shop and start up the last one of these last dose missions. All right, here we go. Last dose mission 5. If you are doing this along with me, make sure to get snacks before this one because you're definitely going to want to have them. The first thing we have to do is we have to go get into the vellum, which will be in the whatever this is called here. I guess it's a canal, I don't know, but head into the vellum, and then we're going to head over to the LSIA airport, and we're going to have to essentially find a way to get onto a cargo plane that is actually moving. So it's going to be a little bit tricky if you are doing this for the very first time, but it's not too difficult. Okay, there is the cargo plane we got to catch up to. I suggest flying over here to the right side of the airport to get as close as possible to it. Just make sure you don't crash. So we now are hacking it, but we got to make sure that we stay relatively close. The plane is very slow, so I'd actually take, and what I've done is take my finger off of the, I guess, accelerator, you could call it, for the plane, so that we don't get too far ahead of it. And we should be just about ready to go. Okay, we're good to go. Now we can get inside and take out all of those security guards in it. All right, those are all the guards. And now we got to head up to the cockpit. And as per usual, the snake is running away from us. And now all we have to do is land the cargo plane at Sandy Shores Airfield. Relatively easy. Using the right and left bumper is usually the easiest way to turn with these, so it's very straightforward. So now all we got to do is get out the landing gear, and then, yeah, it goes right into a cutscene. We don't even have to actually land the plane. Now, it would be lovely if this was the end of the mission, but of course it is not. We still have a little bit more to go. There's going to be cops swarming us. We just got to take them out. And this part is a little bit tricky, but there are a few things you could do to make it a lot easier. First, we're starting off hiding behind these crates. I would always take cover behind these, and if we need to, we could go into the back of the cargo plane to get some shelter if really needed. They are going to come at us from all directions though, so it will make it more difficult. All we have to do for the helicopter, just take out the pilot and we're good to go. Okay, now we just got to enter the truck and drive it back to the freak shop. This part may be a little bit tricky. Hopefully all goes pretty well. We got a little parade of police going on behind us here. We now have to get rid of them. We have to lose them. So I usually find the easiest way to do it is to head right for the freak shop and then hide out somewhere nearby. So I'm going to take my little shortcut to get to it. Wow, there's quite a few guys. We're going to go through here and then I'm going to go down the hill right in front of the freak shop and we should lose the cops relatively easily that way. So we're good. And then I just go into here inside the freak shop itself. And if they do follow me, I just get out of the truck and start running. Now we just got to get back in the truck and the mission is over and we're all good to go. There you go. Last dose mission 5 done, $20,000 plus we'll get $100,000 for completing the mission. And we're also going to get something very special, which is a free $2 million car for completing the first and last dose missions in order. There's the $100,000. We're now up to 1.5 million. And now we're going to head back to the freak shop and I'm actually going to do one Fooligan mission before going and claiming our free car. Okay, so I got the Dax mission where we have to contaminate the weed farm again. And while this one is easy, this weed farm is way out in Paleto Bay, so this has taken me longer, but that's okay. It's going to be an easy 50k. Once again, we got to take out everybody who's in here. We have to contaminate the water supply here. Turn on the irrigation system here. And now we're going to get sprayed and go on an acid trip. Once again, that should take maybe 3-4 minutes. And finally, the acid trip is over. There you go, $50,000. We're now at 1.6 million. So we still have quite a ways to go before we have the $2.2 million. But first, I'm going to pick up the car that we got for completing the last and first dose missions before we do anything else. And here it is the Ocelot Virtue, a beautiful car. You're able to put a Monitech on it. Of course, we don't have that yet because we don't have the agency, but a Monitech, and it's also an electric vehicle that is extremely fast. I'll show you guys quickly here, going from nothing to acceleration and top speed. This thing is so fast. So from here on out, unless we're doing a mission that requires some protection, I'm just going to use this car for everything. So we currently have 46 minutes left, and there's a few different things we could do to make money. The last two really big things we could do as a beginner player is to complete the mod treasure hunt or the stone hatchet treasure hunt rather, and the dual action revolver treasure hunt. The dual action revolver requires us to have an email sent to us. We don't have that yet, as you can see. That requires you to be in a session for I think 10 or 15 minutes. So we have some time until that comes up, but we also have the LS Tourist board. Now, I think this is only for next-gen consoles, so I wasn't wanting to do this right away, but every day, if we photograph 3 different animals, we will get $100,000. So I think we might as well go for it, but we will do that later. For now, let's start up the Stone Hatchet treasure hunt, because this one does take some time. So to start up the treasure hunts, usually mod will text you right away, and it will make it to really easy. But if you haven't received the text, all you have to go is head over to the white M on the map as I showed. We are here right now, and as you can see, mod just texted us. We go into it, and we will be getting some bounty targets to take out very soon. Now for each bounty target, we can make $10,000 to $20,000, I believe. No, $5,000 or $10,000. And once we take out all 5 bounties that she gives us, we'll then get the location to the stone hatchet where we could go pick it up and complete a kill challenge to get an additional 250k. So all in, we're making $275,000 to $300,000 depending on how you do it, and you'll know what I'm talking about when we eventually get our first bounty. But because we have to wait for her to text us, we might as well go and find the 3 animals that are on the LS Tourist board here. So if we go here, we have to find... That's a lot of text. My gosh. Okay. We have to find a deer, a pig, and a great cormorant. Pig and deer, I assume we could find... Actually, my bunker from my other account is around here, and I know there's tons of farms in that area, so we should find a pig over there. Okay, so I had to look it up on YouTube. I'll actually leave a link in the description down below to the video that I watched, but apparently the pigs are supposed to be right here. Oh, I think I just saw one. I think I see some pigs. And we just got our first text from mod for the bounties. Yes, we got a pig. Okay. We're going to take a picture of this. This is by far the easiest, like, $100,000 you can make per day. Perfect. Okay. Now we're good to go. We got $20,000 for the first animal. And our first mod bounty target is going to be this woman. And for each of the bounty targets, we will get we will get this gold icon on the map. They're going to be at that location. Okay, the first bounty target is right in front of me. Now, when we have these bounty targets, you have an option of either taking them out or bringing them back to mod. If you bring them back to mod, you will get $10,000, but if you take them out, you'll get 5. So there you go. The easiest way to do it is just to take them out and move on. Okay, I've now come over to the mountains here because I assume this is going to be the best place. Oh, we found a deer right away. Perfect. That might be a moose. No, that's a deer. Perfect. Okay. And now we have to get the great cormorant. And we also actually just got, at this exact moment, the dual action revolver treasure hunt location. So, you know what? We have 23 minutes. We might as well just start knocking out all these at once. Let's head over to this here. We'll go over to the dual action revolver treasure hunt and at least get it started. But first, I'm here at the marshes next to Fort Zancudo, because apparently this is where the cormorant spawns, and that might be actually one right across from here. It is apparently a black bird. Yes, that's actually it. Is that going to count? Yes, we just got another $60,000. There you go. 100K, did not take too long. Now we could head over to the dual action revolver area. Okay, we've arrived at the location to start up the dual action revolver treasure hunt. If you don't know how this treasure hunt works, we're going to have to find a note at our first location here in the big yellow circle. I already looked up a video on where this one is. If you want to see where yours is, check the video out, linked in the description down below. But once we find the note at this location, we're then going to be given 3 different locations, and we'll do this note very quickly. Boom, there you go. We'll then be given 3 different locations where we have to go and inspect clues. They're going to be highlighted by these yellow circles on the map, and once we've inspected the clues at all 3 locations, we'll then be given the location to the dual action revolver. And just like the Navy revolver, if we complete a kill challenge, we will get 250 grand. So let's quickly go to each of these and get the dual action revolver. So for the first location here at the Alamo Sea, it's going to be in this broken down shack. And inside of the shack, if we run around here, we're going to see a bloody shovel. So it's going to be on the ground. Perfect. There you go. Inspect the clue. There you go, and that's clue number 1 discovered. The clue over here at the top of the map across the Alamo Sea, it's going to be over here at this tree, and there's going to be this open box. Investigate the clue. That is clue number 2. Okay, here we are at the location of clue number 3. I'm going to try to land the helicopter. It's a little difficult, and it's going to be up the side of the mountain here inside of a cave. So it's a little hard to spot right away, but if we run up here, you will see just behind these bushes, there is a small little cave, and inside here is a pretty gruesome clue. Move on from that. And now all 3 clues have been discovered. And so from here, we're going to get a treasure chest on the map. It is right here. And that is where the dual action revolver is going to be. All right, here we are at the scene of a crime. We have the box or the chest for the dual action revolver. And now we have unlocked it. So like I said, all we have to do is do a kill challenge, which is getting 50 headshots. So it's a little bit more complicated than the Navy revolver or the stone hatchet, but 50 headshots and we will get a $250,000 bonus. Whoops, I jumped out of that as it was still going, but our bounty target is right over here. What's going on? There you go. Free $5,000. Unfortunately, we do have a couple guards we have to take care of here, but that there is bounty target number 2. And because I have 4.5 minutes left, I'm actually going to take a shot at completing one of these junk energy time trials. This is a time trial with the bike, relatively straightforward. It can be done daily, and it gives out $50,000. So let's see how this goes. Come on, we got to get there. We got to get there. Bunny hop to victory. Let's go. $51,000. Beat it by a couple seconds, which isn't bad whatsoever. And on the clock, we have only 1 minute left. So that means we're going to end off this section of the video right here. Now, I was debating on whether I make this a video by itself or if I combine this with tomorrow's 2 hours worth of footage, but I've decided to combine both together so that it's a more interesting video for you guys. So this is where I'm ending off for today. We have made, or we're up to 1.75 million. Hopefully by the end of tomorrow, we'll be able to buy the Kosatka submarine, and I guess you guys will know depending on the title. With that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it is the next day and we have another 2 hours on the clock to keep grinding and make the 2.2 million for, once again, as a reminder, the Kosatka submarine, which is the best business in the game. So that is what we're going for. As you can see, I got a little drippy. I decided to change my outfit. Someone in the comments of the last video said I should change it, so I got a designer jacket, some nice jeans and shoes. But with that being said, we're now going back into, or continuing, the mod bounty targets, as well as completing the dual action revolver 50 headshot challenge. So with that being said, we're going to start up the timer here. We got 2 hours on the clock. It may not take the entire 2 hours to get the Kosatka submarine. If we do end up taking less time, I'll probably cut it short, but we need at least another 500 grand before we could buy it. So we might as well start up right away with the next bounty target. I'll likely go, it's actually pretty close to us luckily, but I might go and get a helicopter in a little bit. Okay, I finally found my bounty target. And from here on out, for these, I'm actually going to use the dual action revolver so I can get headshots. There you go. Completed another bounty and started off the dual action revolver challenge. So now in between bounty targets, I'm just going to go around and start trying to take people out with the dual action revolver. So I've decided to come down here to Vespucci Beach. This is usually the best place to find as many people as possible to complete these challenges. And there you go. We just got the final kill. $250,000 will now be deposited into our bank here in a second. There you go. $250,000. We're now at 2 million. And if we complete the mod bounties and get the stone hatchet and then complete that challenge, we're at the 2.2 million, all we need for the Kosatka submarine. Now, I was actually thinking about potentially loading into a new invite-only session, but an easier way to get away from the cops here is to go over to one of these construction sites here in downtown Los Santos. We got to drive a little bit further. We could lose the cops and then continue the mod bounty, because when you change sessions, the mod bounty emails stop coming. You have to wait another 5-10 minutes, so to get around that, I'll just lose the cops in here. And if you're new to the game, this is where I am hiding. There is an underground tunnel passageway that goes underneath the building that's under construction. If you go under here, the cops don't follow you and you lose the cops every single time. Okay, so the cops are off us. We can now head over to the next mod target, and I'm going to go to the Vespucci helipad and get a helicopter to get there a little bit quicker. Wow, that took me forever to find this guy. Holy, don't run at me, bud. You're done. Well, there you go. That is bounty number 4. In the meantime, though, I might as well go and try to find some of the animals that are on the LS tour board. We're doing it on a brand new day. So what animals do we have here? It's going to be boar, pug, and great cormorant once again. So we know the great cormorant is going to be over near Fort Zancudo. The boar will likely be somewhere here in Sandy Shores, and then the pug, I believe you could find them outside of some shops in Los Santos. Okay, so I believe the great cormorant's right over there. Yep, it is. It's a black bird with a big yellow mouth or beak, and there you go. That is number 1. We should get $20,000. Perfect. And we now have the final bounty target. Let's see the location. Luckily, it's actually pretty close to us. Okay, we've arrived at the final location. We just got to drive around now, and hopefully we could find them relatively quickly. And there you go. There's our final target with a red dot on the minimap. Boom, there you go. And we've finally completed all 5 of the mod bounty targets, which means that we're going to get the location to the stone hatchet very soon. Okay, we've arrived at the yellow or gold treasure chest on the map. That is where the stone hatchet's going to be. And as you can see, just like the dual action revolver, we can now open up the chest if it will allow me to. Open the chest. There you go. And now we have the stone hatchet. It's going to take 25 kills and we will get another $250,000, I believe. And this one is a lot easier because with the stone hatchet, you have something called rampage mode, which I'll show you here in a second. So to activate Rampage mode, all you gotta do is kill one person, there you go. And as you can see, everything changes. And essentially what it allows you to do is become invincible. So attacks will not hurt you in any way. And just so long as you keep killing, you're gonna stay in Rampage mode. So it's pretty overpowered. It makes this challenge a lot easier. But I would suggest being in an area that's highly populated so that you have plenty of people close by to take out. So I think we got 1 or 2 more, and then there you go. We're done. That is the end of the Stone Hatchet Challenge. We will get our 250k very shortly. And there's the $250,000. We have finally hit $2.2 million. Now, although I have enough money to buy the Kosatka Submarine right now, I actually want to complete the LS tour board first, get a little bit of money just in case we need to buy new weapons or anything before starting up the Cayo Perico heist. And we won't be doing the heist in this episode, obviously we don't have enough time, but we will do it in the next episode. Okay, there's a pug right outside of the store, just looking inside. Sort of sad actually, but there you go. Cute little pug. That is animal number 2. And then we have to go find a wild boar. Alright, we are back here in Sandy Shores, and we should find a boar somewhere along the train tracks. Oh, there you go. There's one, and it's walking towards me. Okay, Rockstar, please just let this happen. That is the best picture of a boar I have ever seen. Okay, Rockstar, come on. There you go. That's got to be it. Finally. That is the hardest animal to photo. Okay, $60,000. We just got our money. Now we could head over to the casino. Or not the casino, but the music locker, which is right over here on the map, indicated by the music icon. This is where we have to go first in order to do a cutscene so that we could then buy the Kosatka Submarine, because currently it is locked on the Warstock Cash and Carry website. Okay, we finally arrived at the music locker. We have to pay our entry fee, 150 bucks, and then we have to go downstairs to the green M on the map, as you can see. That's going to be for Madrazo, and he's going to be the one that gives us the tip that the Cayo Perico heist is a potential thing to do. And finally, the cutscene is over, which means that we can go into the Warstock Cash and Carry website and buy the best business in the game, or probably the second best, it depends on how you look at it, but the Kosatka Submarine. So, we're not going to do anything fancy here. I'm going to go for flag, which is Canada, obviously, as a Canadian myself. Sonar station, we don't need. Guided missiles, we don't need. Weapons workshop, don't need either. And eventually, I would like to get the Sparrow. It does make the heist so much faster, but it does cost, as you can see, 1.8 million. And then another 250k, I believe, for the missiles, so we're not going to worry about that. And then the Kraken, a Visa, I wouldn't even bother with it. So 2.2 million for our Kosatka Submarine. Now, for those who may not know, the reason why I bought the Kosatka Submarine first is because it allows us to make, as a solo player, anywhere between $1 to $1.5 million in just an hour to an hour and a half. It does have a 2.5 hour cooldown, but it is by far the best way to make money as a solo player. So we're going to first head over to it, and I also should mention that we just checked off our first thing off the checklist, which is the Kosatka Submarine, and hopefully by the end of the next episode, we're able to check off the Cayo Perico heist as another thing on the checklist. Now, when you first get the submarine, it will show up here on your map out in the water. All you have to do to get to it is go over to service vehicles down to Kosatka, and now we can request a dinghy at any time. So it will show up right in front of us. Perfect. And now we could drive over to the submarine. And probably one of the coolest things that the little cutscenes they show in the game is this right here, the submarine surfacing. That looks so cool. But we finally arrived at our Kosatka, and man, I am so happy because this business, as I've said before, will allow us to get every other business in the game, or at least really help in that process. So let's head over to the hatch. There you go, and we're now going to be met with another cutscene that will introduce us to Pavel, who is going to be essentially the guy helping us do the Cayo Perico heist. So the cutscene is now over, and we are here in the sub, and I'm going to show you some things very quickly if you are new that we could do with the submarine. So first off, if you go over here to the control center, we can either drive the submarine, which I won't show, or we could fast travel. Now driving it would be like driving a boat, it's really slow and sort of pointless, but fast travel is really useful because wherever it is on the map that you see, if we pay the $10,000, it will instantly take us there and essentially we'll get there in about 30 seconds or so. So it makes doing setups a lot easier and getting around the map pretty easy if you are here in the Kosatka. Now it does cost $10,000 right away or for each time that you fast travel, but once we've completed the Cayo Perico heist for the first time, it will only cost $2 grand, which is way more affordable. So that is the control center. We also have this back portion here. This is where the Sparrow would be if we did have it, that helicopter, which is really useful because then it allows you to do the setup missions so much faster. If we head down here to the living quarters, this is where our bed is, where we'll wake up. But right next to it, and this is a very important tip, is a snack station. So once again, you could get snacks from here. We no longer have to go to Simeon's all the time. And the final and most important part of the submarine is this here, the planning board for the Cayo Perico heist itself. So we won't go into it. Like I said, next episode we'll complete the entire Cayo Perico heist for the first time from the first gather intel mission, which is usually the hardest part as a first time player. And then we're going to go through right to the finale and we should make roughly $2.3 million with first time bonuses included. But that is all for the Kosatka submarine. We have 35 minutes left, so I'm going to try to go and make as much money as I possibly can before the time is up. I'm going to start by doing another Fleeca job. Okay, so we've arrived here at La Puerta, and this is the mission where we have to take out the rival boss and recover the stolen goods, so not too difficult, but it will take a little bit of time. There you go, take a quick pick. And now we're going to get the stolen goods. Okay, we finally delivered the goods, and then I just take one of these four-wheelers over here and drive away, and we should get our 50 grand. And then I'm going to go and do the daily junk energy time trial that gets us 50k. It's definitely the easiest time trial to complete, so it's a must-do, considering we have 23 minutes to go. So there you go, 50 grand. Now we could head over to the time trial. Okay, here we go. Hopefully we could get this done pretty quickly. Okay, this should be it. This should be it. Yes, finally, that took me like, what, 10 minutes to do, but we got 51,000, and now we're sitting at, what, 275k, and we have our first ever business, the Kosatka submarine. So, we got 13 minutes left, but I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to leave it at that. Next video, we're going to be completing the entire Cayo Perico heist for the first time, which, like I said, should make us about $2.3 million, which is amazing. I'm very excited. I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please drop a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.